one t-shirt design out or one hoodie design, whatever it might be. So just take small steps forward, and eventually those will add up, and next thing you know, you'll wake up in a whole different world.
Yeah.
And you'll actually be in pursuit of, the dream that God has given you, or the vision God has given you.
Right. No, I say this all the time on this podcast. It's like, if you have a vision, I believe that vision comes from God. And like, if you have a vision to do something and impact somebody, like, God has given you that vision for a reason. And if you're choosing to stay comfortable because you're scared of change, or you're scared of this, or you're scared of that, like, fear does not come from God. That is the enemy trying to hold you back from pursuing that thing that God is wanting you to do. So I really challenge you to like lean into that.
Yeah, that's the turning point. It's like you either take action or you don't. And the best thing you can do is just start to take action towards the direction you feel like you're being called.
And that's the thing too, is like, there's so many free resources out there now. Like, if you, like you just said, like, if you want to start a clothing brand, start doing research or connect with somebody who has a clothing brand. I know so many people have come to me like, how do you start a podcast? How do you start a business? People are willing to give that information out. Like, if you go to the right people are willing. Have you ever had a coach? Like, have you had a coach?
Yeah, I've throughout my financial planning career, I've hired coaches, to help excel my growth and, whatever I was pursuing at that time.
Yeah. No, I think coaches are great. I feel like
it's accountability.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I have a business coach. I love my business coach. Shout out Kaylin. Yeah. No, she's great. So, what are you, to wrap it up, like, what are you most excited about moving forward in your brand, and kind of now that you're full-time GLM, and what are you most excited about?
Yeah, I think I'm most excited to build the most inspirational brand in the world.
Yes.
And so I feel like God's giving me a vision of something like very, very unique. Mm-hmm. And I can see how we can impact the world and help people truly maximize their God-given calling. So now that, I am full-time in the brand, I've been full-time in the brand for 3 months now, it still hasn't been easy. Mm-hmm. In fact, it got harder than it's ever been before. Mm-hmm. But I really feel like at the same time, I wouldn't even be learning the lessons I'm learning if I didn't even take the leap and go full-time in the brand, because that was really hard. So I said all that to say, the thing I'm most excited about is continuing to learn and grow personally and spiritually and deepen my relationship with the Lord. And through that, I think that we're building a brand that's going to be one of the most inspirational brands in the world. We're going to impact a lot of people, and I think we're going to make some super dope gear. So
yes.
I'm really excited about that.
No, I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited to, like, watch it grow. Like, it's going to be so dope to just watch, like, from the start to like see where you're going. Oh my gosh. I love watching the growth of companies and like businesses. Yeah. No, I'm excited for you. Yeah.
It's a process, and I think the thing is, I think things are going to happen in my time, but everything happens in God's time.
Yeah.
But as long as I'm on his path and following his direction, that's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's so awesome. So thank you for like sharing all of that with us. I feel as if, your story is incredible, and I feel like so many people, like, you should share your story more. A lot of people need to know, how you can go from a corporate job and you're 31.
Yeah.
You're 31 years old. You worked a whole 11-year financial practice, and now you're already pursuing your passion. Like, that is so inspiring for people coming right out of high school and right out of college to jump into creating the life that they want to create.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So we always like to close our podcast with a Bible verse. And the one you chose today is, everyone's favorite, I feel like. Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take. And I personally love that verse, and I know so many other people do as well, because it really does come down to trusting the Lord, not depending on what you want to do or why things are happening, and seeking exactly what he says in his word. I don't think you're at midweek meetup this past week, but Pastor Matt was talking about how his moral will is exactly what the Bible tells us to live our lives. And if something is against what the Bible is telling us to do, that's outside of his will, and that's outside of the will. So if we really want to focus on living the will that God has for our lives, we have to be in the Word. We have to be trusting Him, and we have to be focused on, like you said, like His timing. It's not depending on us. It's not dependent on our strength or what we can do, but what God can do through us. Exactly. I feel like that's why I love that verse so much. Like, what's your viewpoint on that? And
yeah, I love that. And I think the number one thing is key in there. It says, trust in the Lord with all of your heart.
Oh.
So that means when things are good, trust in the Lord. When things are bad, trust in the Lord. When things are average, continue to trust. And it's really hard for some people to do.
Right.
It's really hard for everyone to do.
Yes.
Especially when you're down in the valley. It's really hard to trust God when you're in the valley, because you think things are just supposed to be going gravy and they're not. But there's something He's trying to teach you, in that valley. And when you're in that valley, as long as you keep your eyes focused on Him, He's going to make you stronger, and He's going to show you things that you probably wouldn't learn otherwise. And the number one factor, or the number one key in that, is continuing to trust in Him with all of your heart. Don't try to make your own understandings from it. And once again, He will direct your path. So that verse is, I think, integral in living life.
Yes, no, seriously, I feel like everybody should just have this pinned on their bathroom mirror.
Exactly.
No, awesome.
That's fact.
Well, thank you so much again. If anybody wants to connect with him or find him on social media, you can find him at Kev Warren. That's KEVVWARREN on Instagram, or you can find the brand at God Lifts Me. And then you can also go to his website at godliftsme.com, which I'll link all of those in the show notes at the bottom of this episode. If you love this episode, be sure to share it with a friend that needs to hear it. Maybe you know somebody that's working the corporate job, but you know that they are capable of more. Or maybe it's yourself and you're listening to this and you want to grow, and just share it with other people. Also, don't forget to take care of yourself, because when you're not your best self, you can't help others become their best selves as well. Thanks again, Kev. I loved having you on here. I loved really just hearing your story even more than I didn't know half of that. So that was super dope to learn. And yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.